into illegal sports betting. For more on this news, we're being joined now by NTD's Dave Martin. So Dave, good to see you. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Don. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. So what are we looking at here? Can you break this down for us?
Yeah, it seems, the pair of investigations, this was illegal sports betting and rigged poker games, as you said. Now, both were allegedly backed by the mafia, according to investigators. It's the latter here, rigged poker games that Portland Trailblazers current head coach Chauncey Billups was allegedly involved with. Now, authorities say it was a scheme to rig underground poker games backed by the mafia. They said the scheme targeted victims who were lured to participate in rigged games with the chance to play alongside a celebrity. Now, this is where Billups comes in. Billups was allegedly one of those celebrities. Now, the games were then allegedly rigged using altered card shuffling machines. There was hidden cameras in poker chip trays, special sunglasses, even X-ray equipment built into the tables to read poker cards. I mean, I had no idea such things existed. But Billups, though, he's better known for his years as an NBA player, played with the Detroit Pistons for a number of years, won an NBA title with them. He's a very respected coach and player in the league.
So there were actually other people involved in this, and one person I want to focus on as well is, what about the charges against Terry Rozier, who is, currently playing for the Miami Heat? What do they allege that he did?
Yeah, he's accused of the illegal sports betting part, specifically using private insider information. Now, they allege that Rozier and others had access to inside information that, only players and coaches would have, that would have affected, the outcome of a game or an individual's performance. And they exchanged that they exchanged that information for either a flat fee or a percentage of the profits. Now, in 2023, sportsbooks in several states flagged suspicious betting on Rozier's statistics on a single game, a prop bet, it's called. Now, there was a surge of bets that came in on the under for his points, rebounds, and assists, so much so that they actually halted the betting on that. Then in the actual game, Rozier played just 10 minutes, which is not very long, left the game citing a foot injury. Now, the NBA looked into that matter, though. They found that no league rules were broken. It's unclear, though, if this is something that the investigators are looking into. Now, in all, there were 34 people arrested for these two schemes. A couple were charged in actually both schemes, the sports betting and rigged poker games.
Okay, so I'm not very a sports guy. If I ask a question that seems kind of obvious, I ask you to forgive me on that. But when they say insider information, what could that be referring to?
I think that could be a lot of things. It's a good question, though. I would probably say player availability would be the number one thing that, a player or coach could have access to that maybe the public wouldn't. And that could be, themselves being available or a fellow player or maybe being injured, I guess. That's one reason the league really forbids gambling on games within the league. You cannot do it at all. Let's actually listen here to what U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of New York, Joseph Nocella, said today about that.
The non-public information included when specific players would be sitting out future games or when they would pull themselves out early for purported injuries or illnesses. They relied on corrupt individuals, including Jones and Rozier. They also misused information obtained through long-standing friendships that they had with NBA players and coaches. And in at least one instance, they got their information by threatening a current player, Porter, because of his pre-existing gambling debts. Defendants used this non-public information to place hundreds of thousands of dollars in fraudulent bets, mostly in the form of prop bets on individual player performance. The bets were placed through online sports books and also in person at casinos. The defendants relied on a network of straw bettors to place the maximum amount of bets to increase their potential profits. Most of these bets succeeded, and the intended losses were in the millions of dollars.
Now, he mentioned a name there that was Porter. He was talking about Jonte Porter. Now, he's the one who had apparently had pre-existing gambling debts. Now, in 2024, Porter was banned from the league for life for his role in a gambling scheme around individual player prop bets. These prop bets were very similar to that Rozier case I was talking about earlier, where it was a game that had heavy betting on the under for player statistics. And then Porter left that game early, ensuring that he wouldn't get over those numbers. Another name he mentioned there, Jones, as former NBA player, current assistant coach Damon Jones. Jones was also arrested Thursday. He's one of three people allegedly involved in both cases. That's, you know, the insider information about the NBA games and those rigged poker games there.
So these people, including the current coach, Billup, and the current player, Rozier, what would this mean for their careers now that they're charged with this? Yeah,
well, obviously means bad things for their careers. I mean, I would expect the team is eventually going to come out and say that, you know, they're suspended indefinitely pending the investigation, for one thing. Now, if it comes out, like it's like with Porter, where they find out that he, you know, they find on their own that he bet against the league, it's undoubtedly a lifetime ban. I mean, that's just across all sports. If you bet against your own team, then the fans are going to think, you know, every game is rigged. These aren't real outcomes. This is fake stuff going on here. You'd be done for life. If it's for this, where it's, you know, in trouble with the FBI for something, it's certainly going to be a bad look for them, but it wouldn't be like a lifetime ban, I wouldn't think. But it's certainly nothing good is going to come from this. Now, right now, like you said, Rozier, he's in a contract that he plays for the Miami Heat. The guy is 30 years old. He's a very good player. I'll be very interested to see what the NBA does. I mean, previously, they've tried to, you know, kind of separate themselves from sports betting, but in recent years, with laws being lax, they've actually gotten a lot more cozier. So it'll be interesting to see the NBA's reaction to this.
Well, okay. Keep us updated on the situation as more things develop, and looking forward to talking to you again. Thank you.
I will, Dylan. Thank you very much.
Thanks. The government shutdown could soon impact American women and children. A nonprofit group is warning that millions of people enrolled in the special